Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start the next unit of the analytical chemistry. The unit 2 is nothing but the classical methods of the analysis. In that, titiometry is there. There are the three parts that we have to see in this unit, especially. First part is nothing but the redox titration, their numericals, construction of the titration curves, and the calculation of the E system in the aqueous medium. In case of the one electron system, multi-electron system, then third part is the theory of redox indicators, their criteria, use of the diphenylamine and ferroin as a redox indicator, then the complex symmetric titration, construction of the complex symmetric titration curve, then the use of a EDT as a titrant and its standardization, their absolute and conditional formation constant with the metal, selectivity of EDTA as a titrant, factors enhancing selectivity with examples, advantages and limitations of EDTA as a titrant, then the types of the EDTA titration, metallochromic indicators, theory, examples and application. These are the part we have to see under this particular unit. That already we have discussed, but before starting this unit, I am again revising this part. Now, first of all, you know what are the redox reactions. Redox reactions are those reactions in which oxidation reduction takes place simultaneously. Okay, a redox reaction is one in which the reactants undergo change in the oxidation state. In any reaction, oxidation cannot take place in the absence of the reduction or vice versa. The total number of electron lost must be equal to the total number of electron gained. That is the very much important conditions for the redox reaction. Redox reactions are not completed. Once they are oxidized, another will get reduced. The oxidizing agent, the substance decrease the oxidation state is called as oxidizing agent. And a reducing agent is the substance that increases oxidation state is called as a reducing agent. Simple example is the ferric ferrous is there. When you are doing the titration of the ferric with the ferrous, at that time C4 plus will get reduced to the C3 plus, whereas the Fe2 plus will get oxidized to the Fe3 plus. That's why Fe2 plus will be called as the reducing agent, whereas the C4 plus is called as the oxidizing agent. Then the construction of the titration curves and the calculation of the E system in the aqueous medium. You know the potential is related with the concentration through the Nast equation. A redox titration curve is a plot of the potential versus the volume of the titrant added. That's the oxidizing or reducing agent. Redox titration reaction can be classified in two main groups. One will be the titration where H3O plus or OH minus hydronium ion do not participate directly in the redox reaction, and the second will be hydronium ion will participate directly in the redox reaction. The example, in first case, the titration is hydronium ion is not participating. The example is titration of Fe2 plus and the Seric 4 plus. Whereas in the hydronium ion which participate directly in the redox reaction, the example is the Fe2 plus ions with MnO4 minus ions. First of all, we have to see the one titration curve for the one electron system. Example is the titration of the ferrous with the ceric. The titration of the Fe2 plus with the ceric is carried out in presence of the dilute H2SO4. The acid medium is used to prevent hydrolysis of the reactants and the product. The redox reaction, now you can write it as a Fe2 plus plus C4 plus in the aqueous form, ferrous and ceric. It will give you the Fe3 plus aqueous plus ceric 3 plus, that is in the aqueous. That one will be the ferric and another one will be the ferrous. Ferrous ferric gives you the ferric ferrous. Then E system can be calculated by using the Nernst equation as E system is equal to E0 Fe2 plus Fe3 plus minus 0.05916 divided by n into the log to the base 10 concentration of Fe2 plus divided by concentration of the Fe3 plus. Or in terms of the steric, E0 standard EMF of this steric 4 plus to the steric 3 plus minus 0.05916 divided by n log to the base 10 concentration of C3 plus divided by concentration of the C4 plus. This is the E system by using the Nernst equation. Now we have to see the actual titration. For that purpose we have to consider the 10 cm cube of the 0.1 normal or simolar Fe2 plus ions with the 0.1 molar steric 4 plus ion solution in presence of the 4 normal H2SO4. Got this point? During titration the potential will obtained at the following stages. There will be the, we have to see especially 4 stages. One will be the initial state, then the potential before the equivalence point, potential at the equivalence point, and potential after the equivalence point. In the initial state, first state will be the no steric 4 plus added. At that time, what will be the Fe3 plus ion will not be formed, or whatever may be there due to the air oxidation, that will be in the low concentration. When you will add the steric 4 plus, then and then only Fe2 plus will get converted with Fe3 plus, and that's why the initial potential is insignificant, that will be the 0. Then potential before the equivalence point. Now here we have to consider the different volume. Now we are adding the 1 cm cube of this particular steric 4 plus solution. At that time Fe3 plus will be the 1 into 0.1 divided by 11, and Fe2 plus will be the 9 into 0.1 into 11. It will give you the, you can take the ratio Fe2 plus divided by Fe3 plus, you will get the 9 by 1. By applying the Nernst equation at 298 Kelvin, you will get the E system. By substituting these values in the equation, you will get the E system is the 0.7145. You got this point, how it is taken. Then again further it will be very simple. 3 cm cube, you can take 3 cm cube of the steric 4 plus ions, then 3 cm cube Fe3 plus will get formed, and 7 cm cube Fe2 plus will left. Accordingly we have to see the next 9 cm cube, and last one is the 9.9 in the vicinity of the equivalence point. Got this point? Further part we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.